Hi, I'm the Moorlander and I'm a bag geek. I've said it. I mean, I've said it a million times. I am a bag nerd of the highest caliber. I love bags. Bags. I just love them. And I've tested and I've looked at and I've made some content on a lot of incredibly nice bags. But have you ever wondered what are my go-to bags though? When I'm not testing out this, when I'm not testing that, when I'm not testing out the other, what are the bags that I use for my everyday stuff? Commuting to the office when I'm not using this bag, going out into the wilds when I haven't got the next latest and greatest bag. Just my everyday grab and go kind of bag. So let's have a look. That's what we're going to have a look at today. Let's have a look at my three, and I've put them into those three categories. What is my daily commuter? What is my daily grab and go EDC? And what is my getting out into the countryside bag? Let's take a look. Now before I start, all of the bags that we've seen today I have previously made some content on, so I'll leave some links wherever they're meant to go on the screen so that you can watch the full content on them. First one that we're going to have a look at is my daily commuter bag. This was one that I thought was going to be tough because I've got a few bags that I've used in the past, but for me I just looked at it simply as which is the one that I always go to. There must be a reason in my head why I always go to that bag, and the bag that I always go to if I'm driving to work, if I'm on the train to work, is the Able Carry Daybreaker 2. Now I've had both of these bags in the fact that there was the original Daybreaker, which was also the bag that I just used to grab when I went to work with. But early this year, Able Carry did some upgrades to this. The upgrades were very subtle, but as far as quality of life upgrades are concerned, they were quite big things. So as far as this pack is concerned, it's a very simple bag. It really is very simple. There's no super duper extra sexy kind of features to this. And I think it's its simplicity that I kind of find attractive, and it's one of the reasons that I always tend to go for this. As far as construction wise, it's constructed from X42 material, which is an X-Pack material. Generally, most of the bags that I go for are either X-Pack, which is a sailcloth developed, and I always get this the wrong way, it was developed by the Americans and built by the Germans, or developed by the Germans and built by the Americans. I always get it the wrong way around. But it was used for their Olympic boats that they sail with. So one, very durable, two, very tear resistant, and three, because of the nature of which it's designed for, the hydrostatic qualities, yeah, very good at keeping your items dry within here. So yes, so it comes in a few different colours. As far as features, you have a zip on the side for being able to put your stuff into, your valuables. You have a pocket on this side so that you can put in a drinking bottle, fits large drinks bottles, which is great. For travelling with this, I have done some travelling when I've been to see clients abroad. Having grab handles everywhere. Every bag, if you're a commuter bag, needs to have one on the top and one on each side. When you're trying to grab something from the back of a taxi or overhead luggage and things have moved, some baby's crying and you're like, oh, for crying out loud, I'm just trying to get my bag off. Not having to worry or having any stress, I know these are first world issues, of where you're supposed to grab it to get it out and just get off because you've been breathing in other people's farts for the last 4 hours, is great. I like that feature. On the inside, again, it's just a very simple, there's very little organisation or anything like that on the inside. And this one, so this was one of the updates that they'd made. So originally both of the zips came down to here, whereas now on the Daybreaker 2, the zip on the left hand side comes all the way down so that you can J open this, and I've just got a bit of stuff just chucked in there at the moment. You have a zip pocket at the top that you can throw extra valuables into, maybe your car keys, your mobile phone. There's also one here in the front. There is a laptop sleeve in here which will easily fit my 16-inch laptop. One of the other updates that they made to it was in the back section. So in the back section here, they've now put some additional padding in here. Originally this didn't have any padding in here at all, but it's still super minimal. So if you're maybe traveling somewhere and you want to put this in as a secondary backpack, you can put this in the bottom of a suitcase, and it's just 15 millimeters deep. It really is that thin. Or if you want to, you can roll this up and you can put it into another backpack, so that you've got a secondary backpack or a smaller backpack if you're doing a trip on a city break and you want a second one. It really is an excellent pack. You have your sternum strap on here. I'm a big sternum strap fan. I just like sternum straps. I think it's great. It takes the weight off your shoulders. And to carry it, with it only being 25 litres, you can fit in just the right amount. It's one of those Goldilocks bags. Not too big, not too small, just right. One of the extra points that I've always been a fan about Able Carry is their attention to detail. Little things like the accents where all of the stress points are, rather than just being a box stitch, they put this kind of strange rhombus kind of shape in there. Attention to the quality of the materials. The X-Pack material is great. I will generally either go for, as I mentioned, X-Pack or Cordura, because they're tried and tested materials that we know that are super tough. Even down to the zip choices, rather than just throwing on your normal RC YKK zippers, they went the extra mile to make sure that you got AquaGuard YKK zippers on there to protect what's inside. All of those reasons are why my EDC bag, sorry, my commuter bag of choice is the Able Carry Daybreaker 2. Now, being a bag nerd, I take a bag everywhere. Literally everywhere, just in case. I don't think it's like a prepper kind of thing, but I always like to take a bag for those just in case moments. I think when you're a dad, you've got children, there's always a, Dad, can you carry this for me? So my EDC bag, the bag that I carry the most on a daily basis, whether it's just a trip to the shop, whether it's a trip to the pub, whether it's a, I don't know, whatever it is the Helicon Tex Bushcraft satchel. Were you expecting that? I mean, I was, because I love this bag. The Helicon Tex Bushcraft satchel is my grab bag. I've carried this bag more than any other bag that I own, apart from one probably, and that would be the East Pack, the one bag. I do definitely carry a lot of that, but for everyday kind of use, it definitely is this bag. Available from Helicon Tex in 6 billion different colours. They certainly have a lot of colours for this. This is the adaptive green version. However, I really don't know how my willpower has stopped me from buying several others. It's a 17 litre satchel crossbody bag. I wear it on the front sometimes, on the side, on the back, but it's great. Those 17 litres is just enough that I can put in as little as I want, well, just like this, and it sits very close to me. Or I can put in a little bit more on those days when the kids are like, oh Dad, can you carry this for me? It's constructed from 500D Cordura, which is, you'll probably see there's a theme today. It's either going to be X-Pack or Cordura. I think 500D is just right. It's, again, it's got that Goldilocks quality. It's not too tough, it's not too light, it's just right. The compartments on this, one of these I've kind of done a little kind of Randy upgrade to. So on the front here you have a single zip. If there's anything I'd change about this, I'd put a second zip on here. This is an area that I've kind of upgraded. I bought one of these Magpul Dakar pouches. I'll check what size this is. I think it's the medium. It's roughly about 11 or 12 inches across, but it fits perfectly into this pocket. It does have a DWR coating on this, but if you're caught out in a torrential rain, whatever's inside will eventually get wet. One of these fits in just right here on the front. It's almost as though it was designed for this. It's crazy. So that when it's in there, you can zip this, but if you think that you're going to get wet, or you want to put your mobile phone in here, or something that you want to keep protected, oh Dad, it's raining, can you grab my mobile phone for me? Then you can put it into this, within this pocket. There's a nice little tip for you. On the sides you also have some pockets. Some of these are pass-throughs as well. So on the side here you have a MOLLE panel. On one side this does pass through, so if you're out in the wilderness and you want to carry an axe or a knife or something, or it's longer than that, you can put it in here. But on this side it does have a stitched bottom. You've also got some compression straps as well. But the main bag itself is just this one large mouthed open compartment, and this is your pretty much your full 17 litres. On the back of it there is a mesh pocket, which is great. You can just put whatever it is that you need to just drop into here very quickly. And then on either side you also have these two large pockets here on the inside. I'll try to put a photo here so that you can see. But you can fit a full-size cantina in here, you can fit a 1 litre Nalgene bottle into here, I can fit my camera in here. On one side maybe I could put my mobile phone, my keys, my wallet. You can fit a lot into these, so although there's not individual storage or a lot of individual storage in here, just these two pockets, one on the front, or at least one on the left and one on the right. Absolutely brilliant. On the back is just a clear panel. Some people have said it would be great if there was an extra zip pocket on here so that you could have that quick access to valuables that you want to keep closer to you. I've certainly not found that that's an issue, or at least it's not an issue that if you don't want that pocket on the front, you can just put it on and put it on the other way around. It's a satchel at the end of the day, and it's a symmetrical satchel. There's no kind of obvious front or back that you might get with some of like the Maxpedition, what were the ones that they do, the Jumbotron ones, whatever they're called, that you have to wear it either way. And as well, so whether you're a lefty or a righty, you can put it on and you certainly don't have any issues whatsoever. The strap on here is a 2-inch webbing strap, and then you also have quick release buckles on here as well should you need to. But for an everyday EDC kind of bag, backpacks are great for the vast majority of situations, but I've always found when it comes to just a great EDC bag, a crossbody satchel haversack kind of bag like this really it just can't be beat. And the last two were very easy for me to decide on, and the third one has been no different whatsoever. It was just incredibly easy to decide what this one was going to be, because whenever you've seen me here, whenever you've seen me making content like this, just off camera has been this bag, and it is, which you've probably guessed already, the Savota Jacari Medium. I probably said Jacari the wrong way, so I apologise if my pronunciation isn't exactly correct. The Kingdom of the Moorlands and the people of Finland have an amazing relationship, and every now and again they don't mind me saying things ever so slightly wrong. But yes, so from the beautiful land of the Finns, I guess I got that right, is one of possibly the toughest manufacturers of outdoor equipment or backpacks that you can come across. In fact, Savota even went as far as filling one of these bags full of rocks, attaching it to a trebuchet by the MOLLE by the PALS webbing on this, and then firing it 1/2 kilometre, running after it and then kind of dusting it off. Yeah, perfect condition, and that perfectly sums up exactly what these packs are designed for. Savota designed these for the Finnish Defence Force. These are the backpacks that they use for their patrols whilst they're patrolling the security of their borders, and these are shit hot. Okay, I said it. As far as toughness is concerned, even when I've looked at some GoRucks in the past, I think these even beat GoRucks as far as how they are over-engineered to be tough. The Jacari M, or the medium, this is a 30-litre backpack. For me, I tend to have a habit of overpacking whenever I take something out. I've always tried to take less, but I always end up unfortunately taking a little bit too much. For me, my sweet spot for a backpack to get out into the countryside is anything between 28 litres to 32 litres. A little bit more than that sometimes, depending on what I'm doing. But for a 30-litre backpack, it fits perfectly within that sweet zone. This is with the Finnish M05 camo, but they also do it in, I think there's black, brown, green, black, brown, green. I think that's all of them now. Yeah, they used to do black and green, but they've recently introduced the brown. It's made from, you've probably guessed it, Cordura. Rather with the one that we just looked at, that was 500D Cordura, this is 1000D Cordura, and it's also lined as well. I say lined, so it's not actually lined as in there is an additional liner in here, but the inside of the Cordura also has like I want to say it's like a PU kind of coating, whatever coating that it is. So there's already a DWR coating on the outside of this, so if it gets wet the water will bead off. But if it does get torrentially wet, then the coating on the inside will then also stop any of that wetness from getting in. It's a very, very simple, tried and tested top loader. So you have the lid that pops off on the inside. There is a snow hood in there as well, just to make sure whatever's in there is also additionally protected. Then you've also got your drawstring on the outside just to cinch everything in. The lid itself, when it is on, is held into place with these two buckles, which just keeps everything tied down. But these buckles extend, or at least the webbing of these extend onto the bottom here. So if you want to lash anything to the bottom, like well, whatever you want to lash to the bottom, then you can just loosen these off, which will then loosen this. Then when you ratchet that close, everything is then pulled in tight from the bottom, plus your lid is then on, which then kind of doubly kind of extra lashes things down. On the side you have additional pockets on here, so if you're carrying a tripod like I have done today, it will fit in here as well. With your compression straps you can then cinch everything down. It's very simple, but what Savota have this special sauce, or this extra kind of Finnish knowledge on, is taking simple and taking it to the next level. They really do kind of nail down the basics. And I say this with a lot of things. If you can do the basics well, then you don't necessarily have to go above and beyond to make or add any of these additional features on here. On the back, the suspension system, again continuing with the very simple kind of theme. The padding on here, not particularly thick padding. However, it just does exactly what it needs to do. It's just, yeah, there's definitely something special about this. The padding on the rear panel, again, you know, there's nothing special on here, but it just does what it does. And then across the bottom here, you have a lumbar support pad and an extra belt as well. There's just something about Savota and the bags that they make. One, yes, they're indestructible. Two, they don't have a load of stupid features that aren't necessary. If you've got a simple bag and it does exactly what it needs to do and does that exceptionally well, then you just work with what you've got. And I think that's for me why. And plus the fact that this is 30 litres, so all of my camera equipment, which is just off camera at the second, I can just put anything that I want into this, strap my tripod to the side of it, and then if there's generally there's like tertiary items that I'm out filming for that day, then they'll also be able to fit in as well. And yeah, it just does what it needs to do. So there you go. Were you expecting those to be my 3 bags? I think you might have probably have guessed that this was going to be on the list, and I think if you've seen some of my other content where I've mentioned just EDC bags that I go to, then you might have guessed the Helicon Tex bushcraft satchel. But yeah, these are my 3 kind of ride or dies. if Castle Moorlander was on fire and I'd got my wife and daughters and the dog out and they were like, have you got your bags? I'm already on it, I'm getting back in there. These would be the 3 bags that I would save to make sure that I'd got just in case. These are the 3 bags that I go to for either everyday EDC, my daily commute, and or getting out into the countryside. So there you go. As a bag nerd, these are my 3 nerdiest bags, geekiest bags. I don't know how you'd say that anyway, but you know what I mean. Now, at the mention at the beginning of this, so I have already made some content on these bags, so if you'd like to see the full reviews, then I've left links through the video, but I'll also leave some links below so that you can see those as well. And yeah, there you go. I hope you like this. It's a little bit different than I usually do. I usually tend to kind of focus on one product, but I'll try and see if I can do a little bit more of these bits in the future. Of course, I will leave some links below so that you can see more from these bags and the places that I purchased them from. I'll also leave some of my social media links here on Moorlander EDC and also my sister channel Moorlander Tactical. But for now, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander and stay EDC. I'll grab a bag. The kids say, Dad, can we go for a walk in the wherever? Actually, no, I'll grab that bag. Fuck, start again. Pack. And it's very simple. I have to start again. So many planes flying over today. It's paparazzi. They're all like, oh my God, what are Randy's 3 important bags that he always has to have? God damn you, paparazzi. Actually, that's the air ambulance. So. If you're watching this and you were in the air ambulance, I hope you're okay. If you're not watching this and you were in the air ambulance, I hope you're okay anyway. Don't mind when it's the air ambulance or the armed forces flying over, but goddamn paparazzi are always trying to look at my stuff. They're always trying to steal my Lucky Charms. That was a terrible accent. Anyway, where was I? Oh man, the joys of having a moustache and a beard. Hairs in my mouth all the time. I need to get some wax. Should I get some wax and like, sir. Just as somebody walks around the corner and I'm screaming to a camera. Should I take some photos? I should probably take some photos, shouldn't I? Let's take some photos. Let's take some photos.